of a Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I saw, pause, my eyes crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love and pride, living her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors a pit, clear, gritted from ear to ear. Craving and raining and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. Oh my God, that echo is going to wear me slick today. I hate echoes when I get the echo in there like that. It just drives me nuts. But that's what happens when you wait and you do your. I'll pull up my OBS before my before excuse me, and then I'll pull up the OBS before I turn on my Tascam, my mixer. It does it every time and it drives me nuts. But when you're getting in a hurry and you're not really paying attention to what the hell you're supposed to be paying attention to because you're running a little bit late, that tends to happen. And which is kind of where we are with everything. But anyway, hope everybody's doing good. Sorry I missed you guys the last couple of days, but one of my kids, his funeral was Friday, and it was really, really hard. One of the kids I coach, and he was off the first team that I had, and that was really, really difficult. He's, and not as difficult for us as parents, clearly, but it was really hard. So anyway, we're back this week. We've got football, of course, starting, and we're all excited about that. And we're going to talk about our top 10 quarterbacks. We're going to talk about the over-unders this year. We're going to give our power rankings starting today, and those won't change. And of course, you can talk about it, what you feel about the differences and how we're doing it. And it is what it is. But remember, like, subscribe, hit notifications. And then, of course, our new podcast will be coming up starting in we're going to try to start it like around the 14th or so is when we're going to try to do our new podcast that we're going to be doing, which I'm extremely excited about. And I think you guys will be too once we get everything up and running. We'll put the new logo on the screen, and so you'll be able to see what the new show is going to be about. But we're extremely excited about that and about getting it going. So I'm pumped up about our guests and who we're going to have and what we're going to be doing with that. So I'm really, really excited about it. I think you guys will be too. Let's start off talking about the Cowboys. Our guy Drew Henthorne, unfortunately, he's not on today, but if we were, we could talk about Jerry and his guys and the saga that are the Dallas Cowboys. It just blows me away that the Cowboys, I mean, how have you not signed Micah? It's like the Cincinnati Bengals not signing Trey Hendrickson. You end up paying more money. If the Cowboys would have paid CD when they were supposed to save themselves, I think between CD, Dak, and now Micah, they would have saved themselves like $9 million, which is what you could have paid Derrick Henry. But of course, you wait and you got to make CD the highest paid deal, and you spend all this money. And you pay Dak, who is not, and I like Dak. I'm personally a fan of Dak Prescott, but I don't think he should be paid how much money he's getting paid. I don't see him being better, and you're going to see in my quarterback rankings that we're going to do here in a little bit. But the Cowboys, Jerry is the Cowboy, and what did he say on one of the things that the chaos and the soap opera-ish for the Dallas Cowboys is 24/7. And I think that's just his way of being a marketer to keep the Cowboys in front of everybody. That's just what I think, which is, I guess, it's a great marketing tool because what are they worth, 10 billion, 12 billion, or whatever, something outrageous. I think they'll be worth whatever he says. That's what I believe. I believe he said, I'll sell the Dallas Cowboys for $20 billion. I bet you somebody would pay $20 billion. I bet you get together a group of guys, Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or somebody like that. The guys who've got all this money, you probably have some guys that would get together as a group that would do that. Because we know in Texas you got all that money. There's plenty of Texas people who are plenty of people in Dallas or in Houston or in Texas, period, that would love to buy the Cowboys. So I think he could get whatever. Now, of course, he will never do it, and I don't know if the kids would do it. But $15 billion is a lot of money, and I think the Cowboys. I mean, it's just like anything else. Something means more to the person who bought it, the person who started it, than it does the kids down the road. As the as as each generation comes through, I think it means less and less and less to the generations. That's kind of how I look at it. Then there are also other businesses that I think that does matter. Like my friends that have a bank, I think the great grandfather started, or the grandfather started, and then the father, and then now the grandson, the great grandson, and then it'll go move on from that. I don't think they'll sell it, but that's how it is because it means more to them as a family because it was family started, which is the same thing with the Cowboys. I think it's kind of the same feel, if you will, that it's a family thing. But on the flip side of that, if you get offered $15 billion, or if you get offered $20 billion, now Jerry would always say no. But the question is, what would Steven say? How much is their station in Dallas based on the fact that they are the owners of the Cowboys? What does that bring to Steven? What does that bring to his wife? What does that bring to his sister and brother? What does that bring to his kids? What does that bring to the grandkids when they come? What does that give you? What does that mean? And I think that Jerry just is a soap opera, and I think he's just marketing. That's what I think. But to overpay the way that he's done, I just think at 80, what is he now? 86, 87-ish, somewhere around there, 87-ish. He doesn't build the Cowboys. He had his time. He won his 3 Super Bowls, and that's all they're going to get. You're in a division that is not you've got the Eagles. You've got the Commanders. You've got all that. I just don't see the Cowboys doing anything. And now let's look at the over-under. Since we just might as well go there, we might as well go to the over-under so we can get right into it. When we think about the over-unders for the team, which we did for all the NBA, NFL. The NFL teams, here are the over-unders, okay, for this year. You've got the Bills at 11.5. I think the Bills are going to get 11.5 because, one, they're in the East. You know that the Dolphins, they're going to beat them. They're going to beat the Jets because we don't know what the hell the Jets are going to be. We really don't know what the hell. I think they're probably a year away from being anything that we think that they possibly could be. But anyway, so you've got the Patriots, which I think are going to be really good. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. I really do. You got a quarterback, which is what the Bills have. The Patriots have a quarterback. The Dolphins, Tua, yeah, I like him. The Jets, they don't have a quarterback. So when you look at what they have to offer, Jets 5.5. I'm gonna give Glenn some credit, and I'm gonna say over on the Jets. Dolphins, too much talent. I don't know how the hell they're gonna win a bunch of games when it's early. So I'm gonna give them the over. Patriots, man. I'm gonna give everybody in the division the over. I think the Bills are they're gonna get their over simply because of their schedule. So I'm gonna say Bills over at 11, and I think they'll get 12. But really, I want to say 11 wins for the Bills. So I'm gonna say under. I think 11 wins for the Bills. The Ravens, that division is just gonna be tough, but they are absolutely loaded. So I'm gonna say the Ravens are gonna get at least 11 wins. At least 11 wins. So I'm going to say 12. So I'm going to say over for the Ravens. The Bengals, that's the team that scares me. Are they going to finally come out of their slump at the beginning of the season so they can actually be competitive? That is the million-dollar question that we do not have an answer to. So I'm going to say over for the Bengals. I think they'll win either 9. I believe they'll win 10 games. I think they'll get 10 games. I'm going to give them that. Steelers, Mike Tomlin's never lost. had a losing season. So I mean, you got to give him the over, right? I mean, because he hasn't lost, he hasn't had a losing season. You got a quarterback, you got some receivers, you know what your defense brings. So I'm going to go ahead and say over on that. The Browns, if you can't win 4 games, I mean, come on. You got to be over on that. Texans, this is the one that scares me because I think that they will be right at that 9, maybe 10 wins. So I'm going to go to the Texans 10. Jaguars, I'm going to say under for them. I don't know. Trevor Lawrence, I don't know what the hell they got going on. New coach, and it's just a mess. The Colts, I say the same thing. I think they'll get 7 wins. The Titans, depending on what they, I don't know how well he's going to do at quarterback. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and go over for 6 wins. I'm going to give the Titans 6 wins. The Chiefs, I think they'll be right. I think the Chiefs are going to be motivated. I think they'll be at 11, 12 wins. So I'm going to say under because I think they'll be at 11 wins. That's why I think the Chiefs will be at 11 wins. So I'm going to say under for the Chiefs. Chargers, 9.5. I want to do, that division is so tough. They're going to split with everybody in the division pretty much, I'm pretty sure. They may beat the Raiders, who knows. Chargers, I'm going to say 9 wins for the Chargers. I think that you know what? I believe in Harbaugh. He always gets better. So I'm gonna say 11 wins for the Chiefs. I'm gonna say 10 wins for the Chargers, 10 wins for the Broncos, and then the Raiders are gonna be under. I think they'll be right there back again at 6. That's what I think about the Raiders. When I look at let me see, the Eagles. They'll get 12 wins. So I'm doing over for the Eagles. The Commanders. Man, you got to get Terry McLaurin done. I don't know what it is with these people, but pay the guy. You got to pay him. So I'm going to take the Commanders 9.5. I think they're going to have tape on Jaden Daniels. I don't know if he's going to be the guy that he's going to be in his second year that he was his rookie year that nobody knew what to expect from him. They didn't have enough tape. Now they do. You know, he is a tremendous player. Tremendous athlete, tremendous quarterback. Really like him a lot. I'm going to say under. I think they'll get 9 wins. That's what I'm going to go with them. I struggle with that because I think they could get 10. But once we look at their schedule, this is just me not even looking at their schedule. This is just me kind of just going by my gut based on what they did. And we'll go back and we'll look at their schedules. And we'll do that. We'll break that down like we always do. Like tomorrow we'll do a couple. And then Wednesday we'll do a couple. Thursday we'll do a couple. Friday we'll do a couple. Different ones. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. The Cowboys, I'm going to say under. 7.5, maybe 8 wins. I'm not, they got weapons, but I'm not a Dallas fan. I think they can win. But again, you got to look at their schedule. But right now, based off this, not looking at the schedule, it's just me just looking at the team and their quarterback and what they have. I'm going to say Cowboys. I'm going to say Cowboys over. I'm going to give the Cowboys 9 wins. Giants, 5.5. I'm going to give them some credit and say they get 6 wins. Nah, I'm not. 5.5. 5 wins for the Giants. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Lions and Packers. Lions, I think they're going to struggle. I think I'm going to do under. I think it's going to be hard. You lost your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator, and I just don't see how they can. I think it's going to be tough. I'm going to say I believe they will get 10 wins, but I don't know if they will get 11. So I'm going to do Lions 10 wins. Packers over. I'm going to say 10 wins for them. The Bears, I'm going to do under. I think the Bears will probably win 8 games, maybe 7.5. I think it's going to take them. I think it's going to take a year for Caleb to really blend with Ben Johnson to be on the same page. So I'm going to go Bears under for that. I think they'll get 7.5, maybe 8 wins. So I'm going to do that. Vikings, new quarterback, tons of weapons, but I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about JJ McCarthy. I don't. Rookie sat out a year, so that does tend to help you because you can like Mahomes. It really helped him sitting, watching, seeing how Sam Darnold handled himself, watching the offense, being a part of the offense for his second full year. I think that's probably going to help him quite a bit. But yeah, that's the Vikings. I'm going to take the under on the Vikings. That's kind of what my guess is going to be on them. And yeah, but I'm taking the under. The South, NFC South, the Bucks. Huge Baker fan. Now this new Baker, the old Baker, I was not a fan of, but the new Baker, I really, really like what he's doing. I like his transformation and what he's bringing to the table. I like what he's being as a man. Just everything about him, I really, really like his maturation. I'm a big fan of him now, and I really like what Baker's doing. I really, really like what Baker's doing. So the Bucks. Man, they gotta have 10 wins in that division. So I'm gonna do over for the Bucks. That's what I'm gonna do, the over for the Bucks. And then, like I said, we're gonna be going over. We're gonna take 2 teams a day until all the teams go back. So we're gonna take what their over under was, and then match it with their schedule, and figure out if we're really gonna stick with this. But like I said, this is my initial first glance, not doing anything, just first glance based off last year, based off what they have on their roster, not knowing what the schedule is. This is just my guesstimation right now of that. Okay, that's how I'm going with it. The Falcons, Michael Penix's second year, really played a half a year, so this will be his first full year, but he did get action last year. I like what I saw from him. He's got some weapons. You got a good coach. You got a good coordinator. Zach Robinson, I like what he's doing, so we'll see. So I'm going to give the Falcons the over. I'm going to do them at 8 wins. We'll put them at 8 wins. The Panthers, man, 6.5. Let me think about that. 6.5. The Panthers, I'm going to say under. I think they'll win 5-6 games. So I'm going to do under for the Panthers' new coach. They're just a mess down there. Even though Bryce did play tons better towards the end of last year, I thought he played really good. So I'm going to do under. I think 6 wins. They may get 7, but I'm going to go with 6. And then the Saints, 5.5. I'm going to do 5 wins. I'm going to say under for them. I mean, they shouldn't. I mean, to me, you're going to beat teams simply because you're going to beat teams. I just think so. But I'm still going to go the Saints. I'm going to do them 5.5. So I'm going to say the Saints 5 wins. That's my guess on the Saints 5 wins. And then you come over, and then, of course, the NFC West, the Niners 10.5. I'm going to say 10 wins because Shanahan, that's what he does. So I'm going to say 10 wins. So I'm going to say under. The Rams, I like everything they're doing. But the question is, will Matt Stafford be able to stay healthy? That's the $1 million question. I mean, he's out of practice right now because of his back, which we don't know if that's BS or whatever. I mean, they could just be saying who knows what they're doing. I mean, the BS that comes out of training camp and who's hurt, who's not is a joke. So anyway, I'm going to do Rams. I'm going to do over. I'm going to do 10 on the Rams. The Seahawks 8.5. I'm going to say the Seahawks, that division with them and the Cardinals and the Rams and the Niners. Like I said, not looking at, when you look at just the division itself and who you got to play, home and away. I think the Niners and the Rams own the Niners for whatever reason. So I'm going to say, that's the Rams, at least 1 win, if not 2. I think they'll split with the Seahawks and split with I think they can beat the Cardinals. So that's my guess right there, just off the top of my head. So I think Niners, 10 wins under. Rams, 10 wins over. Seahawks, I just think they need a year. I think last year they overachieved to me. So I'm going to say under. I think they'll still get 8 wins, but I'm going to do under for them. And then the Cardinals 8.5 wins. I'm gonna do 8 under. I'm gonna do under for the Cardinals. That's my guess. So Bills over is what I think. Ravens should be over. Texans, they should be over simply because they're in the South. And then the Chiefs, I just think they're going to be right there at 11. So I'm going to say under with the Chiefs. But I think they will be motivated to come out and bust some heads this year. So I do like that, but that's what I'm going with right now for that group or for that thing. And then now, to me, what it's going to come down to is one simple thing. Who is your quarterback? Who do you have as your quarterback? Because to me, that makes all the difference in the world, who your quarterback is. And here are my top 10 quarterbacks. And I know a lot of you guys are going to agree, disagree, whatever. But here are my top 10 quarterbacks that I have. Okay? I got Mahomes at number 1 because, people can say whatever they want to, but all he does is what? Win. That's all he does is win. So you can get mad at him, you can say whatever, but all Mahomes does is win. So I'm going to go with Mahomes as number 1. Lamar, I think Lamar earned the right to be number 2 because I think he just does what he does. So, but I think Lamar earned the right to be number 2. That's just me. You guys can think and believe however you want to believe. You can make up your own list or do whatever you want to say. It's your list to do it the way that you want to do it. I don't have any problem with that. I mean, however you want to do it, you can do it. It's because it's your list and you can make it do whatever you want it to do because it is your list. So this is my list, not your list. This is my list. And but anyway, I've got Lamar just ahead of Josh. I think I think he's got his MVPs. I think he's just right on the edge of really doing what he needs to do. I really like Lamar. And I just think he's just right above Josh right now at this point. Because, remember they should have beat Josh and them last year. But, if Mark Andrews hangs onto the ball, then that's the end of that. But, of course, he didn't. And that was the $1 million story right there. He did not handle the ball. He did not hang on to it. And so that's part of it. So I don't get it. Josh Allen, my number 3. I look at Josh and he's a monster. He really, really is a monster. I really like everything about Josh. I think he's he's big, he's physical. I think he's gotten better and better as a quarterback. And I'm a big fan of Josh Allen. I just am. And then Joe Burrow, and I was talking to a friend of mine earlier about this, and he was like, "Man, how do you have Joe Burrow, right there?" I was like, Joe Burrow doesn't stay healthy. And that's my thing. I think Joe Burrow's a tremendous quarterback, but is he going to stay healthy? And remember, he has not been to the playoffs since 2022. So how do you say, okay, how do you put him on there? How do you say that he's in front of Josh? Because Josh goes to the playoffs. Josh does what he's supposed to do. So how do I put Josh in front of him? Very easily. Like I said, very easily. And then of course, after that, I've got Matthew Stafford. If Matthew Stafford can stay healthy, I firmly believe that is the case with him. I think that he is part of what the Rams are, and he is just so smart, and he's been doing it for so long that you can't discount him. I don't think. I think you've got to. I think you've got to give him the love and the respect that he deserves. He does have a Super Bowl, and you can't discount that. So you got to give him his love on the Super Bowl. He's won one. So if they've won, you've got to appreciate the fact that he's won a Super Bowl, and you've got to acknowledge the fact and give him his flowers for doing that. So I've got Matthew Stafford as number 5. Mahomes number one. Clearly, he's got the most wins of any quarterback, plus 3 Super Bowls. Lamar, I think, is chopping on his heels, even though Josh Allen is second to Mahomes in wins, second to Mahomes in touchdowns. So even though he's there, but I think Lamar's just give me Lamar over Josh just barely. Like I said, then of course Joe Burrow, if he stays healthy, he is unbelievable. But I do agree with someone is that he's still living off his one victory over Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs in the playoffs, and you got to give him that. Jaden Daniels, number 6. I like Jaden. I think that he is coming along. Like I said, I don't know. I said earlier when I was doing the over/under for the Commanders, I don't know. They will have more tape on him, and tape matters. They know what your tendencies are. They know what you do, what you don't do, and we'll see if Jaden can overcome those this time around. We'll see what happens with him, and I'm excited to see what he does in his sophomore season. So I'm excited about it because he was just tremendous last year. But once again, they're going to have tape on him. They're going to know what he's doing. But I have him at 6. I have him right in front of Jared Goff. Even though Jared Goff has gone to a Super Bowl, I have him right over Jared Goff. Plus, they beat Jared Goff. So, I mean, if I'm beating you, how can I not put you in front of me if I beat you? So I got Jaden Daniels just barely in front of Jared Goff, but I'm a huge Jared Goff fan. But, his line has revamped a little bit, so we're going to see, you put pressure on Jared Goff, he will make mistakes because he's a stand-up and standing-there quarterback. He doesn't move that well, and so we'll see if he can overcome those things. Like I said, we shall see. I don't know if he can or not, but we shall see what's going to happen with that. But I do like Jared Goff quite a bit, and I think he is a tremendous quarterback for the Lions. But like I said, without Ben Johnson as his offensive coordinator, we'll see what he really can and can't do on his own without Ben. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to knock the guy, but we'll see what's going to happen. Then, of course, Justin Herbert, big, strong, athletic. I think he's got a coach now that can help him get to where he's got to go. Harbaugh tends to take his quarterbacks and make them better by building the offensive line around, by giving them talent, and by running the football, taking pressure off them to be a passer, taking pressure off them to make throws. So I think that Justin Herbert will finally have a breakout season. I think they'll get back to the playoffs again. But, what is their defense going to do? How healthy are they going to be? But just quarterback-wise, I have him at number 8 because I'm still a little skeptical. I don't know if skeptical is the right word that I want to use, but I'm still a little, we'll see. I mean, I'm more of a prove it to me type person, and I think that he can get there, but we'll see. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts at 9. I have him in front of Baker because, people wonder if Jalen's a top 10 quarterback. He won the Super Bowl. Now, granted, they threw less passes, but he got the job done when he did throw. They ran the ball more, which of course they should with Saquon Barkley. But he was tremendous in the Super Bowl the first time against Mahomes. He had the one bad play where he fumbled for the fumble-rooski for 6. But that's it. And then you turn around and he played great again this time against Mahomes. And they won. Now, of course, the difference was Jalen had time, Patrick didn't, which is what happened before with Mahomes when they lost to Tampa Bay. And what did he do? He came back and he went bam, bam, back-to-back Super Bowls. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do. If he comes back and they can go back-to-back Super Bowls, that's going to be insane. That'll be 5 for him in his first 8 years or first 9 years, which is stupid. But anyway, I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I think that he's a decent passer, but what he does as far as running the offense, push, being able to run with the football, and as long as he doesn't have to, as long as you don't have to depend on him to bring you back from being behind, that makes a difference. He's a great front runner. And then, of course, Baker Mayfield to round us out. I thought Baker really stepped up came into his own like he did in the first year at Cleveland. He played great, and then he came back and he was hurt, and I believe that he should have sat out, but being the competitor that he is, he didn't want to sit out. He wanted to play, and I think that hurt him and it's taken him a few years to recover. But if you get a good offensive coordinator, if you got a good system, if you got a Hall of Famer that you can throw the ball to, which of course he does, that he can throw the ball to. So that also helps. But I do like Baker, and I do have him in at my number 10 quarterback. Now, this reason why I did it kind of like this too as well. When I think of if I'm behind, how do I rank these? Now, I will probably rank them a little different if I'm losing. And we may do a top 10 quarterback come from behind. If you got to come from behind like clutch quarterback, who would that be? Still, I got Mahomes one. I don't think my top 4 or 5 change. I don't think those change at all. Because I saw Lamar come back and I've seen Josh come back. And we know Mahomes has more than all of them. And Joe Burrow, I've watched him come back. Stafford can come back. Jaden Daniels, he came back. Jared Goff, he can. Justin Herbert, we don't know. Jalen Hurts, that would be a no. He would not be in my top 10. And then Baker Mayfield, yeah. So I would probably have to change that out because, like I said, Jalen's, my only issue with him is he's more of a front runner than he is bring you back because in order to come back, you have to use your arm. In order to win games, you have to be able to use your legs and arm. And I think that's what separates these guys from Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. But Matthew Stafford moves much better in the pocket than Jared Goff does because both of them are staying. They don't really use their feet. Baker, he doesn't use his feet, but he can. Mahomes uses his feet. Lamar uses his feet. Josh uses his feet. Joe uses his feet when he needs to. But him and Matthew Stafford and Goff are pretty much standing in the pocket quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels uses his feet. Justin Herbert can use his feet, but he doesn't really do it that often, but he can do that. Jalen Hurts does what Jalen Hurts does, and Baker does what Baker does. So when you look at these guys, use their feet, use their feet, use their feet, use their feet, use their feet. So 7 out of the 10 are use their feet guys, and that's how they get done. What they need to get done is why they're all winners and do what they do. Now, here are my power rankings. Well, here, let me go ahead and take a break. Then we'll come back and we'll do the power rankings. I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up over at SRB. They love to take care of you. If you have needs if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, these guys will come and take care of you and make sure you have clean drinking water. And they also do all kinds of things. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up over there. They love to take care of you and make sure everything is smooth. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses, which we will be at one tonight and tomorrow and Wednesday. So we'll be at minority business, women-owned businesses tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday for the next 3 days. And then, of course, we will be at YNB on Thursday. But you can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go to one of their 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 at 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks, and I-40 just south of I-40. Cannot miss it, right in front of the hospital. And of course, YNB People's located on 23rd and Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Guys, I'm going to tell you, this stuff smells so good. It smells so good. If you haven't had it, you've got to try it. You've got to try it. Penn Square Mall in Oklahoma City, Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, Town East Mall in Wichita, Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas, Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, South Plains Mall in Lubbock, and the Westgate Mall in Amarillo. And we're going to have to go to the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa and do a show there at some point. I need to go to Tulsa. I need to figure out a day. I think we'll probably do it on a Thursday. Go up there, or probably a Thursday. Instead of doing the show in Oklahoma City, we'll do it there in Tulsa. I think that'll be a fun deal. Plus Tulsa. I love Tulsa anyway. It's a fun trip and a fun place to go. So that's it, guys. And so Uh, but like I said, I mean, I love Tulsa. I love to go visit. Plus, it's only, what is it, an hour and 15 minutes away. So it's really easy to get to. You can't miss it. To me, it's just easy. It's easy to get to, easy to drive to and from, get around in it. I used to hate getting around in it because all the highways, 69, whatever it is, it's kind of a pain the way it's set up. It's like Tulsa reminds me a lot of Houston. They got a bunch of little highways and they just, oh, we need a highway, put it in. We need a highway. And Dallas and Oklahoma City are more balanced. Okay, you have you have 44, you have 35, you have 240. So you have the turnpike. So everything is really simple. You're not bouncing from highway to highway and crossing over, and it's a mess. But once you get used to it, it's not that big of a deal. So, but I think we need to do that. Plus, I know for the new show, we will be going to Tulsa, and we're going to do one of our shows at the Tisdale Cigar Shop. We're going to go up there and see my guys up there. We got to do that. Y'all know I love cigars, and so I need to do that. Okay, here are my power rankings, my early power rankings. Okay, Eagles number 1, Ravens number 2, Chiefs number 3, Bills number 4, Packers, I know everybody's got Packers, 5, Steelers 6, the Commanders 7, the Lions 8, Chargers 9, and Rams 10. Now, you got to give the Eagles respect. They're defending NFL champion, Super Bowl champion. They got to be number 1. They've got more talent than any other team in the league. So Harry Roseman's done a great job of building what they have there. So I'm taking them. Plus, they got Saquon and Jalen. The Ravens, they are just, at some point, Lamar is going to break through. He just is, especially with Derrick Henry at the running back. I think he's going to break through at some point. And, I watched this show the other night called The Perfect 10. And there's been 10 Heisman Trophy winners that are also in the Hall of Fame. And they were talking about who will be the new 10. And I thought about that. I was like, you know what? Derrick Henry is going to be that guy. I think that will be in the Hall of Fame. That was a Heisman Trophy winner. I think that Lamar Jackson will be a Heisman Trophy winner that will also be in the Hall of Fame, especially if he gets a Super Bowl victory that will lock him in because he's already he'll win a couple more Super Bowl or MVPs. So I believe Lamar and him will both, Derrick Henry will both be a part of the perfect 10. Well, they'll be the 12 or 13 at that point, but the perfect 10, which you should go look it up and check it out. I thought it was really well done, and but only 3 people weren't in the mix. 2 of them are dead, and one of them is pretty much dead to everybody. He's a pariah. It's pretty much dead to everybody. So that had a lot to do with it. But anyway, Eagles, you got to give them love. Ravens, I think that they're going. If they don't break through now, the defense is going to be the only thing hold up. But their backfield is strong. With their defensive backs are great. But the question is, can Lamar do what he needs to do? Can they make plays? And this past year, he made the plays. And, people were beating up Mark Andrews. I'm like, Mark Andrews is one of the best tight ends in football. You're an idiot. If you, he's allowed to drop a pass. But you're crazy. Mark, he's unbelievable. You're an idiot if you think he's not good. I don't know why people are beating him up. Mark Andrews can play. You're a dumbass. He did drop a pass 100%. And he was Lamar's safety blanket 100%. And Lamar has counted on him how many times, and he's always came through. And the one time that he needed him the biggest, he failed. And I can promise you Lamar will go back to him again because you got to have a safety blanket, and his has always been him. Where Mahomes' safety blanket is who? Travis Kelce. So, all quarterbacks have some sort of safety blanket. You got to have one. The Chiefs, the last time the Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl this bad, they came back and won back-to-back. I just think that you getting embarrassed as an athlete locks you in so much more. And I believe that they will be locked in. I think Chris Jones will be locked in. Travis will be locked in. We know Mahomes is a freak, so he's going to be locked in. And then, that Burt, oh God, what's his name? 32, Not Burton. What is his name? Oh my God. I can see his face right now. But I'll think of his name in a minute. But anyway, he's going to be locked in. So you know defensively they're going to be ready to go. So I think the Chiefs are sitting right where they could be. But this is the Ravens can't beat them in the playoffs. So I don't know. Can I put the Chiefs up higher? I mean, is that fair? Because should it be the Eagles, then the Chiefs, then the Ravens? I mean, is that fair to say? Possibly it is, but it is what it is right now. I've got Ravens, Chiefs, because I think the Ravens have more talent than the Chiefs do. But once again, you got the best 2 touchdown come behind quarterback in the history of the game in Mahomes. So pressure's on the line. Who do you like? That's the question. Bills. I love the Bills. I like Josh Allen. I do. They're in a division and they're going to dominate it again, kind of like what Tom Brady did when he was dominating the East. But I think he's got a little bit more competition than Brady had. Brady had zero competition. The Jets were terrible. The Bills were terrible. Brady didn't really have any competition. He was guaranteed 5 wins in the conference. Pretty much no less than 4 wins that he was going to get out of the conference every time. No question, because they were so terrible. And that's facts. But anyway, I like the Bills at number 4. The Packers, people are sleeping on the Packers. Jordan Love was playing really good until he got hurt. And I think he'll come back with a vengeance. I think he'll come back with one to put doubters' minds to rest, because talking all that trash about him getting his contract but dude, you get hurt, You can't, there's no way you can't defend that. There's nothing you can do. Steelers at number 6, I'm putting them because I'm a firm believer in Aaron Rodgers. Can he bring them back? The defense is not going to let him down. We know that. And he's in a tough division with the Ravens and with the Browns, even though the Browns and the Bengals, that's one of the toughest divisions. But I do like the Steelers a lot. And I almost had the Bengals in here. But I thought, that's unfair to the Rams, because I think the Rams are probably a little bit better than the Bengals. And the Bengals, are they going to break their trend to where they go 1-3 to start the season? Can they go 3-0 for once? Can they go 2-3? I mean, can they change the outcome of losing all those games early and then having to depend on people late in the season that they don't depend on and teams lose? Like the Chiefs. They needed the Chiefs to beat the Broncos. Chiefs played no starters. They're like, yeah, no, we don't want to see y'all Bengals. That's basically what they said. They don't want to admit that, but that's basically what they said. We don't want to see y'all. Then you got the Commanders. Sophomore season for Jaden Daniels. What is that going to mean? What is that going to give them? And I think it's going to give them a hell of a chance. That's what I think. I think it's going to give them a hell of a chance to do something. I like the Commanders. I like what they're doing defensively. They're going to have to build that up. But offensively, get Terry McLaurin signed. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on, Josh. Get them signed and let's move on down the road. Take care of your players. You got the Lions sitting there at 8. And the reason why I have the Lions in here is because of what their team is and how they got offensively and defensively. They get their guys back. But you lose the offensive coordinator. You lose your defensive coordinator. Aaron Glenn and Davis. I don't, being an Aaron. What are you going to do with that? Ben Johnson, I don't know. Sophomore slump. Yes, I agree for the Commanders. I agree, Ryan. Sophomore slump. But the Commanders, the Lions, no offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, that's going to be tough. I look at the Chargers. I think this may be the year that they come and do something. I know that their coach always plays better the second year, and I think I had them at 8.5 wins. I think is what they were, 9.5 wins. And like I said, they'll be right there. I think they can win 10 wins. I think they are 8.5 or whatever they were. I think they're right there. And like I said, we'll break down and do that from this point on. But the Chargers, they're loaded. And Justin Herbert has a coach who will help him do what he has to do. He's got a running game, which I don't know how the hell Steelers let Najee Harris go. The hell you doing? So I think the Chargers will run the football, and then Herbert will make the plays that he needs to make. So that's why I have the Chargers in there. The Rams, I had to put them in there over the Bengals. I did have the Bengals in there, and I'm like, man, they start 1-4 every year, 1-3. If they come out and play, then yeah, they could probably slide in here. But I do have them just on the outside. But I got to give the Rams respect. I got to give Matthew Stafford respect. And the Rams are loaded. They're absolutely loaded. And I think they're going to be scary. And I think you notice I do not have the 49ers in here at all because of the simple fact that, I like Brock Purdy, but I'm like, dude, you can't. It's like he's like Dak Prescott. You can't beat 500 teams above 500. You can't beat them. You beat up on everybody else. And if you don't have all your talent, what are you then? I mean, when you look at Mahomes, he beat Joe Burrow with practice squad wide receivers. You think Joe Burrow beats the Chiefs without Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? Is he the same guy without those two? I don't think so. So you got to give Mahomes his love for that, and that's part of why I have that list done the way I've done it. And I think it's fair. I don't think it's anything over the top. I think it's a fair list. To me, I think it is. And I think you can figure it out pretty easily who you like and who you don't, who you want to take out and who you don't. But remember, this is just the start of the year, the beginning of the season, and we'll see what transpires from here. Because that's where we're at. We'll see what transpires from here and how everything lays out. That's where we're at on everything. And I think everything will play out the way that it needs to, and we'll get things done the way that they should. So anyway, that's my list. That's my NFL start of the season, beginning of the season for the NFL. I gave my power rankings. I gave my top quarterbacks, and I gave my over-unders. And then like tomorrow, we'll do two teams, and we'll do their schedule. And if the schedules are out, I believe the schedules are out, aren't they? I have to check it. If the schedules are out, we will do the schedules per team and how that's going to work out. So we'll do that and break down the divisions and who we think is going to beat who, even though I kind of pretty much did that. I pretty much had that in mind, the way it was laid out in the over-under. Pretty much what I thought. But I think, the Chiefs going to lose and not win the West again, like everybody have them predicted not to win, really. They just came off the worst Super Bowl beating, the same way they did, and against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And what happened? What happened? Don't throw away the Chiefs. Don't doubt the Chiefs. Don't doubt it. But, of course, we'll break down the schedules on who's playing who, when, where, because it depends on who you're playing. The Chiefs' schedule is going to be tough again because they're the defending champion, or they went to the Super Bowl, and they've won, been 5 out of the last 7 years, something crazy, 3-2. And both times they lost, Mahomes did not have an offensive line. Both times they lost. But the first time, Tyreek Hill catches the pass in the end zone that he dropped. Travis Kelce drops the third down pass. And instead of the Chiefs going down, boom, they got blitzed. So little things like that matter. It really does. So, but anyway, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I'm out of here. I've got some stuff I got to do. I'm trying to get our new logo set up for the new show, which I am so pumped up about. And I'm excited to do all the things. I cannot wait to tell y'all about the new show and what we're doing, and we'll get the logos done. So I cannot wait for that. It's going to be exciting. I'm pumped up. That being said, hey, everybody have a fantastic day. Enjoy your afternoon. Go hit some golf balls. Remember, 2025 World